Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for a catch-up video for Monday the 12th of June, Tuesday the 13th, Wednesday the 14th and Thursday the 15th of June. And we're going to start off with this. Obviously we've signed Kevin Nisbet. That's a delightful thing that's happened for Millwall Football Club. It fills one of the needs that we have in getting another centre forward. But what else? Who else? What else? What's happening? Well, Callum Styles, obviously some comments that a release fee or a fee had been agreed as part of the loan when it first was taken out. So you would think, well, we agreed a fee. Now maybe because he got injured, but he was making a big deal of his injury, saying like it wasn't first time he's had a really long injury. He's not normally he's had this badly injured, but maybe that's put us off, I don't know. But Barnsley chief outlined stance on Millwall loanee Callum Styles. Barnsley chief executive Khaled Halamad is expecting Callum Styles to report back from pre-season training with a decision on the former Millwall loanee's future set to become clearer later in summer. The Hungarian international spent the last campaign with the Lions. Styles extended his tight contract before being allowed to join the Championship club. There was also a release fee inserted in those new terms. El Hamad told the Yorkshire Evening Post, "For me, it's quite simple. He signed a 3-year deal and he has 2 years on his contract. We start pre-season on June 26 and he will report to pre-season. Maybe with a couple of days extra off as he will be with the national team. But I see no difference with Styles to any other player at our club. He's a Barnsley player, and we will discuss what is best available opportunity or solution for the club, whether it is coming back or selling him. As of now, he's a Barnsley FC player." So there you go. So that suggests no one's talking to anyone about anything, I assume. So we'll see. We will see. Now, obviously, and the thing is, he was brought in to be a part of the system that was. We call it 5 at the back. Garrett says it's not a 5 at the back. It's a 3 at the back with 5 in midfield. When you play it right. Yeah, but he was brought in to be a left wing back. But then he wanted to play in the middle, which was bizarre as well. But so if we're not playing that system anymore, or it's not going to be our primary formation, do we still need him? Don't know. But there you go. Barnsley, he's going back to Barnsley for pre-season training, and then we'll see. Moving on to this from southernnews.co.uk. Millwall passed milestone in season ticket sales for the 23-24 campaign. The Lions had their highest attendances in almost 30 years last season. Yes, not only that, but their highest league attendances ever at the New Den. Obviously, at the New Den since seating. So all seating. See, at the old Den, you had games where it was like 45. K, the Newcastle game in, was it the 50s of 1948, where they're climbing up the pylon that holds up the floodlights. I mean, damn. Millwall have already sold more than 8,000 season tickets for the 23-24 campaign. Supporters are getting on board early in the summer after several exciting seasons, in which the Lions have gone close to making the playoffs. Yeah, can you imagine if we did actually make the playoffs though? Millwall missed out by just 1 point last season after losing to Blackburn Rovers on the final day. The club had a number of sellout games and the average attendance was the highest it has been in Gary Rowett's time in charge. The attendance of 18,524 at the Den against Sunderland in February was the highest since an FA Cup game against Chelsea in 1995. That wasn't even the highest of the campaign, being eclipsed by the 18,785 who were in SE16 against Norwich City in March. So yeah, it was the highest since that cup game, but that's the new record at the new ground, and that's it. So yeah, 8,000 season tickets. Is there a limit? How many would they sell every available seat as a season ticket? Which then, like, that means if you just want to rock up on the day, you're going to be severely limited. How many seats? So it's, what is it, like 18,000, not or 19,000 capacity with all the away fans. I think the away end holds like, is it 3.5, 4 maybe? So that leaves 15,000 for Millwall fans, 15 roughly. So well, not that bad, but it's going to be a bit tight. It's going to be one of those where you might have to be keep an eye on it, keep an eye on this channel, keep an eye on when on the Millwall website when tickets go on sale for home games, let alone away games. It's hard enough to get a ticket for away game. You might have to do that for home games now. Obviously, we could have a stinker and start the season like dog shit, and then no one will want to come anyway. Might be able to buy one of those season tickets. Now, moving on to this, also from southernnews.co.uk. Millwall boss on strength of next season's championship after rival managers scared comment. Leeds United, Leicester City and Southampton have all come down. Gary Rowett doesn't feel the championship will be any more of a challenge next season despite some big names entering the league because it's always incredibly competitive. Leeds United, Premier League championships in 2016, Leicester City and Southampton were relegated from the top flight. Plymouth Argyle, Ipswich Town and Sheffield Wednesday were promoted from League One. Queen's Park Rangers boss Gareth Ainsworth said recently he was scared by the strength of the league. Well, if I was QPR manager, I would be scared of the strength of the league as well. It's going to be tough. Have you seen that championship? Where's the small teams now? Where have they gone? Well, that's you, innit, now? QPR. Brentford have got a new ground. Fulham are building a bigger ground. QPR are the minnows of West London now. No disrespect, Rotherham are still in there. I think they could be a smaller team than everyone else. Where's your Wigans? Where's your Blackpools? Where's your Wickhams? There are none anymore. Sheffield Wednesday have come up. Ipswich have come up. Leicester have come down. Leeds have come down. Southampton have come down. I'm scared. Well, Wigan might not even exist in a month. They've had a winding up order from His Majesty's Revenue and Customs. Rowett was asked that and whether he felt the championship was stronger than last season. Oh, it is on paper, Rowett said. But I think I've been in this division a long time, and every season it seems like, oh, this is going to be the hardest one, or it's going to be easier league. But I think it always ends up being pretty much of a muchness. The names of the teams change, and of course there are some big teams coming down into the league and coming up into the league. Of course, that's going to make a difference to the dynamic, but at the same time, the standard is always very strong. There are always very good teams. It's always incredibly competitive. And I don't see next season being any different, really. So yeah, Gareth Ainsworth is scared. Rowett says, bring it on. I don't care. It's always tough. If he was it? Like, if you don't expect it to be tough, then why the fuck are you here? This is the second division in English football, my friend. Get good or get gone. Now, moving on to this, also from southernnews.co.uk. Not bad for a paper that doesn't have a Millwall reporter. Many stories. I wonder if they're using it as an audition. Maybe they are. Millwall boss discusses future of defender who believes he faces make or break pre-season. Alex Mitchell spent the last campaign on loan at St Johnstone. Gary Rowett will check on the progress made by defender Alex Mitchell this summer with a view to judging whether the defender merits a place in the Millwall squad next season. Mitchell, 21, spent last season out on loan at Scottish Premiership side St Johnstone, where he played 29 times, scoring once against Celtic. Mitchell has also had loan spells at Bromley and Leyton Orient, and he hopes he can progress in a similar manner to Danny McNamara. Former Ireland under-21 international McNamara was also sent to the National League, among other moves, and to St Johnstone, from where he was recalled and went straight into the Lions' first team. Mitchell will be aiming for the same success. He took a good step out on loan at St Johnstone. He wants to come and play in our first team, which is always a difficult challenge, Rout told News then. Because the Championship is a tough old league and we're trying to get into the Premier League. I think for Alex it's about coming back pre-season and let's see how he's developed, let's see how he's improved. The challenge for him will be to try to step up and to push his way into the squad and into the first team for next season. Like any of the young players, like any player that comes back, anyone coming back, has to perform to try and improve us, and that's the challenge for all of those players. Mitchell knows what could be at stake this summer, as he explained to News at then towards the end of last season. I've only got one more year on my contract, so this is like a make or break year for me now, Mitchell said. I've done all the things that the gaffers wanted me to do, and I've done it well. I want to crack the first team and play in the first team. I've seen how Danny and Billy have done it. Even Romain, they've got in a team and they managed to stay there. I'm aware that if I don't have a good pre-season, I don't match the standards, then I'm out. I'm aware of that because it's a ruthless environment, football, and the clubs can just bring in someone better. I've got to be on my A game in pre-season, but I know that the last 2 or 3 seasons have all built up to this pre-season, so hopefully I can show what I've done. That's football. It's a performance-driven business, and I'm completely aware of the situation. I think it's quite an obvious one, to be fair. Indeed. But don't worry about it too much. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. But I would say if they send him out on loan again, you've got to think that's it, isn't it? Like I say, maybe if they do a season long, I think you've got to think that's it. If they do him alone until January transfer window, and then there might be an option to bring him back if there's like an injury, and then if he gets that chance because there's an injury, that's when he's got to take it. Like, just be ready. Don't get ready. Be ready, because you never know. You never know when you're gonna have a chance to get in the team. So moving on to this, also from this is from London News Online. It's from a similar situation. Mill defender has delivered exactly what was required during the loan stay. Mill manager Gary Rowett reckons it was a case of mission accomplished in terms of Alex Mitchell's season-long loan away from SC16. The 21-year-old centre-back made 29 appearances for St Johnstone, all in the Scottish Premiership, and picked up the Young Player of the Year award last month. Voted for by the fans, I believe. Mitchell has previously had loan stints with Leyton Orient and Bromley, whilst Same followed in the footsteps of teammate Danny McNamara by joining the St Johnstone team managed by former Lions assistant boss Callum Davidson. Davidson was sacked in April, with the Saints eventually finishing 9th in the table. Mitchell scored one goal in a 2-1 loss to Celtic at McDermott Park in October. I believe he scored the equalising goal. So the whole point of him going out on loan was to see if he can bridge that gap between where he was at and getting into our first team, Rowett told the Southend Press. We had St Johnstone as a loaner. Can he go there and get experience, game time, and develop further? He's done exactly that. Towards the end, just before and after Cal left, he had not played every game, but he has played a good amount, some really good experiences, really challenging opposition. We've been pleased with the loan and with his development. The question is always the same: can Alex come back in pre-season and show his development, and that he's close to being involved in us regularly? If he is, then absolutely fantastic, and he can challenge for a place in our team. If he's not, then we have to decide what the next steps are. But he has taken himself out of his comfort zone and proved himself. We watched all of his games and clips. He's come back with a chance to fight for a place in our team and squad. Indeed. Obviously, I told you throughout the season that the clips of the St Johnstone games were available on the BBC iPlayer on a program called Sports Team, which is a Scottish match of the day. So there you go. It was interesting watching him. He is pretty good, but I think for some reason they dropped him. I think that's because he's not that good on the ball. He's more of a interceptor, defender, cruncher, jumper. But there you go. Now, what's happening? International games. We pray for our players. Let's hope they all come back safe and well. Amen. Millwall players set for international duty. And that there is Kevin Nisbet, who technically is he a Millwall player? Has the transfer window open yet? 14th, wasn't it? 14th of June. So I think he is a Millwall player now. 4 Millwall players are set to represent their respective countries over the next week. And the games start tomorrow, Friday. Tom Bradshaw, Wales, George Saville, Northern Ireland, and new signing Kevin Nisbet, Scotland, will compete in Euro 2024 qualifiers. Meanwhile, Adomo Maku gears up for 2 friendly fixtures for Ireland's under-21. Supposed to be 3. Funny reason why is that third one didn't happen. So this is from millwallfc.co.uk. They've taken the time and effort to put a list of them all up because obviously there's no football going on now. There's some cricket and Wimbledon starts in a couple of weeks, but they've got football now. We've got international games, so if you want to watch it, obviously you might want to watch the England games because that's England. But if you want to watch some other games with a Millwall connection, here we go. We've got George Saville, Northern Ireland, versus Denmark on Friday, 7:45, and then Kazakhstan 3 days later. Scotland, obviously, against Norway, that's on Saturday, and then Georgia 3 days later. Again, Friday, Cardiff City Stadium, Wales versus Armenia. They want to be called Cymru now. Cymru! And then 3 days later against Turkey. And the Ireland under-21s, this is, I believe, in Austria, and I doubt that they're going to be on television, on the internet, or any of that. It's one of them is tomorrow, Friday, 5 p.m, and then the next one 3 days later. So there you go. And obviously, Daily Millwall will keep you informed of all of these results and situations, probably with a video after the first round of games, so maybe on Sunday, and then maybe another video afterwards as well, unless something drastic happens. Because Kevin Nisbet has a fractured leg, but if you wanted to watch the games, here we go. So Friday the 16th, obviously Denmark, Northern Ireland. That's on Viaplay Sports 1. I don't know much about that. I believe that's the channel that used to be called Premier Sports, and they got taken over by a Swedish company called Viaplay. The Malta England game, that's on Channel 4 if you want to see England beat Malta 3-0, go 2-0 up, and then just pass it around, get the third, and then sit back. That's on Channel 4. Now, the Wales versus Armenia game, to watch Tom Bradshaw, if he does play. He might come off the bench in that one. S4C. Now, the last couple of games, I watched them on S4C via the BBC iPlayer. If you go to the BBC iPlayer and then go to TV Guide to watch the channel live, and then you scroll through, go all the way through, and then S4C is on there. I did watch it before. It won't be on. You can only watch it live, I think. It's not on catch up. They don't have the rights to video host it, just to broadcast it live. And I believe S4C is free to air on FreeSat. So if you have a satellite dish, if you have Sky, I think it's on there. You might need to change your postcode. And S4C online, I think you can get that as well. Saturday, obviously, that's the Norway-Scotland game. That's on Viaplay Sports 1 as well. What else have we got? So we've got games on the 19th, is it? We've got England versus North Macedonia. We've got Northern Ireland, Kazakhstan, Viaplay Sports 1. We have Turkey versus Wales again on S4C or on Viaplay Sports 2. And then we're waiting for the second Scotland game, Scotland Georgia. That's on Viaplay Sports 1. Although I'm pretty sure for the Scotland games they'll have highlights on Scottish BBC maybe. But yeah, that's it. So there you go. There's the international games happening next week, coming up this weekend, and where you can watch them. Now, games that have already happened. I told you about these ones already. SA scores first England under 18 goal. Yes, indeed. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. They've taken the time to do a little roundup. They waited until all 3 games have been played. And here we go. So Romain SA scored his first England under 18s goal in the competition in Portugal. The Millwall man was selected to compete in a trio of games in Lisbon and SA found the back of the net in England's opening match against Norway, which finished 2-2. The Three Lions went on to beat Australia 3-2 2 days later, while ending the camp with a goalless draw against host Portugal. You can watch Romain SA's goal below. Yeah, I showed you that in the video. I think it was on Sunday. Zoomed out, filmed on a potato. It could be anyone scoring. You just got to take their word that it's Romain SA. And Millwall have linked the match reports from EnglandFootball.com. Everyone at Millwall Football Club would like to congratulate Romain on his goal and look forward to welcoming him back for pre-season. Indeed. So not only that, so I told you about the first two games. I haven't told you about that third game, the 0-0 draw. But again, here we go. This is the match report from EnglandFootball.com. 0-0 draw. Romain SA starts that game. So he started all three games. And in this game, he played 60 minutes. He came off for Ryo Kiermaitan of Tottenham Hotspur on the 60th minute. So again, started the game, played quite a few minutes. Started all three games, and that's good. The 0-0 draw on Tuesday afternoon, host Portugal walked away with the International Tournament of Lisbon trophy. What is that? It's nothing. What is so? Under 18 football internationally is not sanctioned. In terms of UEFA and FIFA have an under 17 World Cup, and they have a under 20 World Cup. That's it. They don't have any other. They don't have under 19s, under 18s. It's just those two age restricted brackets. UEFA, I believe, have an under 19s and an under 21s. Obviously, we saw there's going to be an under 21 tournament coming up at the end of the month, which Charlie Cresswell has been selected for the squad for. I think that's a UEFA tournament. So yeah, FIFA go under 17, under 20. UEFA go under 19, under 21. So for the under 20, under 18 squad, they have to play these little friendly tournaments or just individual games. But I think they prefer to play these tournaments, and they try and. It's a bit informal, but it does matter. So here we go. It's been a successful campaign for the under 18s. During the term, they won 5 games against Netherlands, Faroe Islands, Belgium, Croatia, and Switzerland, and only suffered 1 defeat in their second encounter against Belgium in March. So next season, so here we go. This year, group will form the under 19 squad. Will be involved in the UEFA Under 19 Euro Championship, with the first qualifying round for that competition scheduled for October. So here we go. This is the next level, the next step up. Under 19s Euro qualifiers in October. Is Romain SA going to get in that squad? There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of good players here from a lot of good teams. It would be kind of weird that Romain SA would get in this team, but not get in the Millwall team. But obviously we all want to see him play, and he's coming off the bench in bits and pieces. But he started these 3 games, so maybe Gary Rowett asked if he could start these 3 games. Because obviously I think they speak to the manager and say, what would you want for this player in terms of limited minutes and minute management or whatever they call it. So if Gary Rowett said, can you start him, because we want to see what he's like when he starts a game at this level, at a good level. Because obviously I think he's a bit reluctant to start him for Millwall. Because obviously that could impact our efforts to reach the playoffs. Except we didn't reach the playoffs, so we missed out anyway, and you didn't play him anyway, so maybe that's not a problem. But we trust Gary Rowett. We trust him, yeah. We trust him to. Well, here's the thing though. He stuck with the formation until we basically bullied him into changing it, didn't we? So maybe we should just keep bullying him about starting Romain Esse, and then he might start him, and we might see some magic happen. Now moving on to, I told you about Idomu Mako and the weird situation there. Millwall attacker set to have to wait for Ireland debut after scheduled opponent's bizarre decision. Idomu Mako is in a 26-man squad in Austria. This is from the southernnews.co.uk yet again, even though they don't have a Millwall reporter. Idomu Mako will have to wait to see if he will make his Ireland under-21 debut this week after Tuesday's scheduled friendly opponents failed to show up. Emarku, 19, is in Jim Crawford's 26-man squad for friendlies against Ukraine and Kuwait in Austria. They were also due to face Gabon. Crawford had wanted to give all of his squad match minutes. He said that Ireland had not been given a reason for the decision. I was hugely disappointed, Crawford said. Finding out so late in the day about it doesn't help because we'd have been planning everything. Team meetings, training sessions, to play this particular game. To be told so late in the day, it's a real mess. For me in this window, I wanted 3 games. I wanted to bring the 26 players over to give them an opportunity of playing for Ireland under 21s. Now, 2 games with 26 players, there's a lot of thinking to do. Players are disappointed, the old staff are disappointed. The match contracts were signed, stamped, and to find out this morning, it's very disappointing. The squad are preparing for the under-21 Euro qualifiers in September. Former Shamrock Rovers attacker Emarku has 4 caps and 1 goal for the Ireland under-19s. So yeah, he might not play now because he only just got into the squad because he was the first reserve and one of the players in the squad got injured, so that bumped him in. Now he might not actually play because Gabon didn't turn up. So there you go. Bizarre. Now, we're going to end the video on this bit of downer. Here we go. I told you about this. I ranted about this in the video. Must have been a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. About some weirdo from some blogger who was scrolling through Twitter accounts of anyone who works at Millwall trying to find something. And he found one guy. So here we go. Mill head of youth recruitment hit with FA misconduct charge. So confirmation now that the FA are moving a step forward. Mill head of youth recruitment Barry Dunn has been charged by the FA with misconduct. Dunn has been charged with aggravated breach of FA Rule E3.1. It is suggested he interacted with a social media post that was insulting or indecent and or improper, said the FA in a statement. It is further alleged this activity constitutes an aggravated breach, which is defined in FA Rule E3.2 as the post included a reference, whether express or implied, to a religion or belief. Dunn has until June 21 to respond. A statement from Millwall spokesman said, the club notes the FA's decision to charge a member of staff with misconduct in relation to social media activity. The person in question remains suspended from the club and there can be no further comment while the investigation is ongoing, other than strongly reiterate Millwall's zero tolerance policy against discrimination of any kind. So basically Millwall, they're just waiting for the FA to rubber stamp it, and then they're going to fire the guy. So, disappointing, but yeah, if you didn't see, go back and watch the video that I put out. Because the BBC put an article. Of course, they say, "Oh, this tweet, that tweet." They don't actually show you the tweets. They don't actually show you the tweets because I find the little rat bastard who made the original story and then grassed him up to the FA. And basically, he's retweeting Nigel Farage. He's retweeting people engaged in criminal behaviour. And he doesn't add anything to it. He's just retweeting it. He's not. And quite a few Twitter accounts, they put a disclaimer saying or retweets and not endorsements and stuff like that. I don't know if that's ever been tested in a court of law, because this isn't a court of law. This is the court of FA, so obviously he's guilty. Um, and like, there's no way. The only way he can say he was hacked, or I don't know what you can do, but yeah, it fucking stinks. And as soon as they find him guilty of the charges, you know that Millwall are going to fire him, and it's extremely disappointing. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.